everyone, and welcome to the show. My guests today are an incredible team. Actually, they're quite a bit of a dynamic duo. Tiffany Josephs is an incredible person in light who was a former minister, a marketing manager, and a corporate change expert. Keith Allen Kay is an artist, a teacher, and a bit of a spiritual revolutionary who creates incredible mandalas out of fractal technology. Please welcome to the show, Tiffany Josephs and Keith Allen Kay. Thank you so much for being with us today. It's really, truly a pleasure having both of you. So we get to share with the world your light and your gifts and your talents. So Tiffany, I actually would love to begin with you and ask you a bit about being a former minister, as you stated, and then this marketing and then the corporate change expert. So talk to me about that whole journey.
Yeah, I think I have gone through what a lot of us have in what I call trying out our glass slipper. We know when we're young that we're destined for great things, and then we get through life and we start thinking, well, I think I should be doing this, and I think I should be doing that, and we find our way, and that's really what I've done with my life. And I've faced a lot of fears. I've gone the comfortable route, and then I've been moved around to
and then the uncomfortable route.
Step out a little bit more.
Absolutely.
And every time I do that, I have found myself in love, in success, and so I've learned to trust what my heart says with that. So it's been amazing. And what's so funny is now full circle I've come in this stage in my life to a form of ministry again. Which is surprising because I was so young when I began that in my early 20s. Even before then, I was really still a teenager when I was out doing nonprofit and I was working with young women in that way. And then now working with women again in such a different kind of power, in such a truer place in my life. It's really been amazing.
Because you're able to now bring together many facets of who you are, right?
Absolutely.
All of the
I
pieces,
did the corporate
so to
thing,
speak.
I did the management, I've worked in government agencies in DC, and now it's a very different world.
Right.
But I'm a mom too. I have 2 small children, so I have the whole.
You've got the full package. Yeah, you've got the whole package, right? The full picture. And that's beautiful because so many people think that you can't do that, right? That you can have this or this, that or that, and there's not an understanding. Really, you can integrate all of who you are.
It has been an integration, and I think that it's made it a lot more colorful.
Yes. And more fulfilling. Beautiful. Wonderful. And we'll get a little bit more into how the two of you play because really you are quite a dynamic duo. I got to experience you, and it was really this wonderful interchange of masculine and feminine and just all of these multiple levels. So I can't wait for everyone to get a taste of your magnificence. So, but Keith, I would love to hear a bit about your journey and how did you come upon this fractal technology? And tell people what is fractal?
Well, my journey, I actually was in the ministry for years. I was a pastor and in Christianity and so breaking away from some of that and beginning to explore outside that, the wonders of the universe and the cosmos. And I studied a lot of things like sacred geometry and different forms of spirituality. Well, that led me to fractal technology, or fractals that were discovered in the 60s when computers were discovered. So because you really couldn't even see a fractal, there are like millions and millions of computations to create an image. So it was impossible to do. They'd only theorized them with things like chaos theory. And so they theorized something was there. When they began to start seeing these patterns unveil, they were mystified because they really are an eternal equation. A true fractal never ends, it's infinite. And so that's one of the beautiful characteristics of a fractal is it really is an expansive experience and it really connects someone to their soul. So I integrated fractals with someone's numerology based on their birth date and their name at birth. There's a set of numbers that we can calculate, and those numbers are really the the algorithm I used to attach their soul signature, so to speak, in these beautiful, amazing images. So I do these around the world. People find me on the internet, and I do
and they are,
imagery.
they are absolutely stunning, really stunning. And you have quite a following, I think, right?
A lot.
People,
a
lot.
Booming lately, yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. And so how do you see, because just as we spoke with Tiffany, how do you sense an integration of, having been a pastor and this newfound world in service of others through this fractal technology?
Like Tiffany, I really kind of moved away from those original energies. Certainly my beliefs had changed or expanded beyond what I believed early on in my life. But really this passion and longing to bring community together and people understand their power in their life really began to start emerging again, like, I can do so in the same truth. And it's one of the things that I've really enjoyed about connecting with Tiffany is that there's such a beautiful harmony and it's so easy to bring people to that place. So ministry is a strange word. To me, it's just about connecting and serving and bringing people together.
That's it.
So.
That was, I love that you just brought that up because, I started down that path many times, went to, Bible college and started into seminaries and all sorts of things many times. And for me, every time I was like, but it's a little bit bigger, right? There's a bigger picture. And at the core of the word minister is simply to serve, is to help, right? And I know that for me, that's who I am. That's what I'm going to do. And perhaps for some, this is the path, this is their way to express that ministry or helping others or serving others, but it doesn't have to be under that umbrella.
It's like being a catalyst, right?
Yeah.
We're serving to do something that wouldn't happen otherwise.
Yes.
Bringing people together and creating this experience that's only found when people come together and honored and loved. And so that really is at the heart of all we do. We bring people together, we find their greatness and their power and their joy, and really celebrate that.
Right, and you do it in a way that only you can, and and that's what, frankly, each of us is here to do. Was always my belief. I always saw every single one of us as really doing that.
Yes.
So beautiful, beautiful. So when we come back, what I'd love to do is go a little bit deeper into how you two have come together with this amazing process called True You, right? And which is exactly what we're speaking about, really helping people to tap in and connect with who they are truly and then express that in the world.
Lots of fun.
Beautiful. All right. So we will be back in just a moment. This episode was sponsored by Soul Purpose Branding. Put your soul into your brand. Get your business on purpose. With Sabine Messner, the wizard of Soul Purpose Branding. soulpurposebranding.com. All right, hello everyone and welcome back. We are here with Tiffany Josephs and Keith Allen Kay, who is helping us to learn a little bit more about fractal technology, but actually going even deeper to find out the true you. So welcome back. Hello, Tiffany and Keith. So talk to us about this true you experience that you take people through.
Me first.
Go ahead.
This is part of the fun of working together is we are doing
mind.
this thing.
It's a dance,
and
right?
the reason why we come together and why we love working is because so I used to work in the corporate world. I used to be in a boardroom. I used to hold that energy more masculine, right?
Yes.
And have to be more directional. And what's been so beautiful is coming in and working with Keith, who can hold that for me.
Right.
I can do this a little bit more. And in our live stuff, it's also just perfect.
It's a beautiful dance
and
of the masculine and feminine between the two. So beautiful.
The origins of True You is really discovering what we believe is who we truly are, beyond all of the beliefs and the struggles that we have with shame and judgment. It really was understanding us at a soul level. And both of us has gone through this journey through, judgments and Christianity and all those kind of concepts, and really came to this reality that the universe wasn't based on good and evil. It wasn't about doing it right or doing it wrong. In fact, one of our favorite poets, Rumi, I think is so concise when he says, there's a field out beyond right doing and wrongdoing.
Yes.
I'll meet you there. And it's not just about out beyond wrongdoing, it's even out beyond right doing. Because so much, even in the spiritual community, is all about being right and doing it right. When we don't believe that that's even the purpose of the universe. It's really about love and experience. And so, true you at the basis of what we call, and we bring in our Christianity, call it the gospel of innocence.
Yes.
Gospel means
Love that.
good news.
Good news. That's all it means. That's it.
And we ask a question at the beginning of our classes, what if nothing that you've ever done was wrong? And let that sink into the soul and realize, what if that wasn't even the point? What if it was impossible for you to do something wrong on a cosmic level? Not that we don't have an experience of right and wrong here.
Right.
We have an experience of judgment here. We even have an experience of shame. But in truth, in reality, in the cosmic sense of things, that's not even a factor. And so we bring people all the way back to the beginning, who we are in God, who we are in our soul at a soul level. And from that place of innocence, where it isn't about judgment, it isn't about right or wrong, now we can explore anything, because judgment shuts us down. Judgment confines us, brings us
constriction.
Right. So we do a lot of work with letting go of judgments and realizing the universe's energy is beautiful, and we get to celebrate it however we want.
Beautiful.
We really explore a lot about belief and the energy of that word. So beliefs aren't bad. They're not so constricting if they're connected to spirit, if they're connected to our soul. But what happens as we move through life is we begin to take on others, external forms of beliefs, and we get this beautiful, if you imagine our souls as this polished diamond, and it just gets covered. You know, we teach about the cloak of shame. It's the cloak. It's something that we can and we are meant
to release and uncover.
Release and disrobe and show that brilliance.
Beautiful.
And we do that in a very practical way. It's not so out here and esoteric, but actually something that can be applied into our life, so that we can be truly powerful. Because when we're in that space and that brilliance, we don't have to do, we don't have to try to be, we just are.
We just are, and we just love at its core, right?
That's
Just
our relationship
allowing.
with our soul. If we realize that our soul doesn't judge us, our soul is here present with us in the midst of the experience. Not even, our soul doesn't even have a plan for us. It's not even that our soul is going, well, I hope you get it right, because then we'd be back to good and evil again.
Right.
Our soul is here to support us and connect us in this life. And so at any moment we turn to our soul, we become more soulful.
Yeah, and that part's important at any moment.
Any moment.
Because in every moment is a new beginning. It holds that potential for complete transformation.
Yes.
There's not even 10 steps.
No.
Right.
We call it becoming.
Yes.
So for example, right now, we could be having a frustrating moment, and in a moment we can turn to our soul and become love. We can actually enter into that experience, and as we are connecting with our soul, we are expanding. We are enlarging our life. We are opening beyond our beliefs.
Now, I love that you're using the word soul quite a bit, and I love asking this question of my guests, because you really do get quite a range of responses and definitions. But how would you define soul?
Our soul is really
You might
our
have a different
spiritual
response.
being, certainly, that our soul is our spiritual being. It is really how we've come in, and we are actually, I believe, an incarnation of our soul. So we're the physical expression. We're the living out of this soulful spiritual experience.
Okay.
And so that is our relationship with our soul. When our soul is open, our soul isn't here to get a specific thing done, fix something, change something, even heal anything. Our soul is here to have this experience through us. And that gives the full range of all humanity, from suffering to pain. That could be our agreement with our soul. We might spend an entire life in suffering. We don't have to. Because at any moment that we become soulful and connected in that range, we are open to a soul that doesn't judge us, doesn't constrict us, and is always available to us to expand and open our experience.
And so I have more of a feminine experience of, when I think of soul, I think of heart song, I think of essence, I think of literally that that spark that came from the divine, that single spark that came in the very beginning.
Yes.
In my work, I do with my stuff, I talk about Genesis love, and that is really at that very minute, that which was from the beginning, that same energy when we came sparked from. That's that soul, and it moves through the spiral. Moves through that spiral and takes on so many different experiences in order to expand, in order to return. And
Return to
Beingness.
source, that absolute oneness, that absolute experience of how we are outside of flesh and duality and schedules and any kind of limitations.
and the right and wrong idea, the thought, that duality. Now, talk to me a little bit about too, and the gospel of innocence. Tell me about that.
Well, that's a beautiful experience, because whenever we can feel into our innocence, which comes from the beginning, when we see ourselves as soul beings that aren't here to be judged, there's not a thumbs up and down at the end of our life.
Right.
In fact, because we're all theater people, I would describe it as our life as improvisational theater, right? And we're on the stage between our first and our last breath, and we have all kinds of encounters, right? We're doing things, we're saying things, we're speaking things, and if we were doing a scene, maybe I'm playing the villain, right? And I do some harm to you, or I say things that are cruel, maybe even steal something. When we take our bow during that at the end of that scene, there's nobody waiting in the wings to arrest me, to throw me in jail, or to punish me, because we're having this experience together, right? So sometimes we get lost on stage and we start thinking that this is it.
The drama is
Right.
all there is.
Yes.
Yeah, and so when we can experience our innocence, and our innocence isn't being made clean again, it's remembering that we've never been dirty, that we've never been broken, that we really are these soulful beings that love this experience of life. We're not trying to fix the world. We don't even see the world as broken. And that's the sense of innocence. It's moving from that place. Because if I can love Tiffany from a place of innocence, right, I can open myself through all of her experiences, right? There was a moment just a couple of days ago when she was in the midst of a moment, right? And I could just be present. Why? Because I know who she is. I know that she's on stage like I am, and really she's this amazing soul being as you are.
Thank you. Thank you. So what would you then suggest for people who are going through a moment, right, which is perceived as being challenging, difficult, frustrating, upsetting, whatever? How would you suggest people actually move through that a little more gracefully, perhaps?
Well, can we do an exercise?
Let's do it.
that?
Let's do it.
'Cause it doesn't matter what it is, and this is just one of the exercises that Tiffany and I use in our classes and our courses with people, is really moving and shifting energy. So if you, and I'll have Tiffany do it with you as well, maybe the two of you could do it together.
Beautiful. Yeah,
So,
I think everyone would love to absolutely
so just
experience
imagine
that.
for a moment a relationship that's challenging.
Okay.
Somebody that's maybe done you wrong or made life more challenging for you.
Okay.
Okay? And I want you to feel into the experience of it.
Okay.
There may have been lies spoken, there may have been trust broken. So I want you to feel that. And what I want you to do is take your hands in front of you and make like a basketball size.
Okay.
Okay, I want you to actually feel the energy between your hands right now. In fact, scientists will tell you that there's enough energy between your hands that could literally boil all the oceans of the earth in moments. That's how powerful the energy between your hands is. Potential energy, yeah. Just in the air, in the space, in the nothingness between your hands. Potential energy. So I want you to feel that energy begin to move and spin. In fact, if you kind of move your hands in and out, you probably will even be able to feel the magnetic energy between your hands. Can you feel that?
I do.
Wow, that's your energy. So this energy, we can begin to move and form. So I want you to take that person that you just thought of, and I want you to put them in the center of your hand.
Okay.
Okay? And I want you to imagine all of your interactions with them. Everything you've known about them, every experience, whether it was deception, words, pain, expectations, I want you to put it all in your hand and feel it. Now, do you feel the energy change a little bit?
Yeah.
Now, how much of that relationship do you think you actually know in truth versus how much is really true?
So what I love that's happening right now is there's a reflection of what
our
we're
orchestra.
experiencing.
It's probably exactly what it feels like
Exactly
between
what
your
it
hands.
feels like, right?
So perfect. So right there, I want you to feel all of it. The tensions, the pain, the hurt, the glory, the joy, the expectations. But now I want you to place in there everything you don't know about that person. Every intention, every moment of their life, everything that happened before they talked to you, after they talked to you. I want you to feel it getting bigger and bigger. In fact, you may even feel it as getting more and more dense.
Before there was a warmth and a movement. I could just feel energy moving. Now there's actually like a tingle, almost like a zinging sort of thing.
So one of the truths that we work with, or the beliefs,
This
as
is good.
Tiffany was saying, is that energy is just energy. It's not good, it's not evil.
It's just energy.
Just like the
Neutral.
lights in this building are from the same energy that's between your hands right now. And so when you can feel that person and just feel them as energy right now, so bring all your attention right there and just feel them as energy, that there's so much that you couldn't even possibly know about their intentions, what they meant, what they said, what actually happened. And when you see it as just energy, all of a sudden now all the judgments can fall off. So imagine literally every judgment you've ever had of that person beginning to disappear from your hands. That they're just energy, that they're just beautiful art living out in your life. Like in music, there's harmonies, but there's also dissonance.
Yes.
Right?
And that.
And so this is a beautiful, so I want you to breathe, and as you breathe, feel every judgment that you've ever had literally dissolving because there's nothing to judge. Okay? Now it should feel a little different between your hands.
It does. It feels lighter. Feels
So what I
very
want
light.
you to do now is imagine filling up your hands with gratitude and the energy of innocence, that nothing was ever wrong, that everything about that person has made you greater, stronger and bigger.
Another powerful thing you can do at this moment is to just put your hands on your heart and to feel that innocence there. Loving as a child.
Yeah.
Love.
As you feel innocence, feel it as an energy. Feel it literally permeating over it, because our histories are connected with their histories. So imagine right now you feel pouring between every interaction with them just innocence. That which is before good and evil, before judgment.
Before judgment,
As
yes.
Tiffany said, that which is from the beginning.
Yes.
So you should begin to start feeling a sense of gratitude. Like feel it, literally feel yourself being so thankful for what they've taught you, what they've shown you, what they've experienced with you. And let it pour through your body right now. Can you feel how you begin to relax in the moment, right?
Yeah, because you could feel that tension as you were recalling all of the stuff, right? The story, and now it's just so much.
And take a couple breaths and feel how grateful you are. What a rich experience they have brought to you. They've opened up your life. They've felt you in a way that you have not been experienced before. That's how we can shift any moment at any time. This is just one exercise by which, in a moment when I'm feeling the judgment, the tension, at the beginning of any of those tensions are always some kind of judgment.
Yes.
Something's been done wrong to me. Something's
Right.
not being done right.
Right.
We cannot underestimate how great a blessing this is for ourselves, but for all the people in our lives that we
Yes.
do that with. I mean, these is just simple things that we can do to shift.
Yes. Yes. Beautiful. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back. This episode was sponsored by Soul Purpose Branding. Put your soul into your brand. Get your business on purpose. With Sabine Messner, the wizard of Soul Purpose Branding. soulpurposebranding.com. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I hope you're really enjoying this segment and really got a lot out of that last exercise and noticed a little bit of what was happening, because as we were doing that experience of recalling the dissonance, perhaps in a situation, there was dissonance outside with the sirens and so forth, and I love that that happened. You know, it's kind of like behind the scenes, because normally we would want to go back and fix that and all of that, and I love it. It's like, no, that's perfect, because that's exactly how it is. You know, we're experiencing that internally, and that's what we're experiencing externally. And
the dissonance is just as beautiful.
It's part of it, right?
Yes.
You have to see, that's the music. That's the music in the symphony of life. It has harmony and it has dissonance. So that's what we got to experience today, and exactly what you're talking about releasing the judgment around it and allowing it to be perfect just as it is. So that's a little tip of the iceberg of the true you, yes?
Right.
Yes.
So you have a really deeper experience for people. How long is it? How much of an experience is it, the fuller?
It's a 6-week course that we do.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And it is all delivered over the internet, so it's an online experience. And there's these kind of exercises plus a lot more that really take you into that place where we can release. We can release our judgment, even our judgment from pain.
Yes. Ooh.
Right? Because that's how we hold on to it. When we have a judgment of something from our past, it literally holds onto our body, into our
stays into our cells. And yeah.
So when we allow them to fall away, just as we did in that exercise, we begin to start seeing life, and we enter into that state of becoming. That's what's going to happen. It's delivered over a 6-week period, but it's beautiful, and it'll be conversations between Tiffany and I, and we'll interchange different exercises every week, and homework and things that they'll be able to discover on their own. Some exercise of writing.
And what would they experience what would they gain by doing this sort of an experience? What would they feel and see and know on the other side of it?
Well, one of our things that we really believe in and want to connect people to is that energy of thriving. So if there's an outcome, besides just being more connected and feeling more free, it is really understanding our relationship to that word, thriving. We hear it everywhere.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Thrive.
Yeah, it's become a bit of a buzzword.
Yes.
Right?
But what is your relationship to that? How does it fit into your beliefs?
How do you define
or your
it?
experience?
Right.
Yes. And so we get very intimate with that, very personal with that, to know how to bring that into your life, into your relationships, into your communication, into your work.
Yeah.
So
I mean, at the core of that, to realize all these things that we're bringing in are already there. Our soul is already thriving.
yes.
We don't have to try to get our soul into
Yes.
condition to thrive. Our soul is already in a perpetual state of thriving.
Excellent.
So we're accessing our soul. We're accessing our soul for supply, for emotional supply, for resources that we can live these extraordinary lives.
We teach a lot about the supplied life.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
So that's a big theme.
I really love that, and I love this gospel of innocence. I really, really love that. It's just
beautiful.
It's
At any
really
moment you can
beautiful.
turn to supply. Usually, if I'm upset or I'm frustrated, it's because I'm feeling lack.
Yes.
I'm not being loved enough, respected enough. But when I can
Right.
turn to my soul, immediately I feel that supply in my soul.
And it's within,
Yes.
right? It's self.
The treasure is already there.
It's already there. You get to tap in. You don't need to get it from somewhere outside. And that's where the mistake usually is, right? The thought that you have to go outside yourself to get
a guru, it's somebody, it's a teaching.
thing, it's a
that all
place,
comes
it's a
from
person.
believing there's a right way to do it.
Back to that right and wrong
And
duality. Love it.
This is about an experience where they get explored. It's all about them.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So we'll, of course, have all of that information for everyone on our website, so they'll know. But what's the URL for that, so that everyone can know exactly how to tap in?
GospelofInnocence.com.
Oh, perfect.
And that, wow.
It's really, really perfect.
Yeah.
I love that. Love that. And I love how that actually, again, integrates a bit of your beginnings
Yes.
and brings it to a much larger, more expanded kind of awareness for everyone. So thank you both
Regina,
for just
love
your
you.
beautiful work, really, and for being with us today. Thank you, everyone, for being with us today, and we look forward to having you back next time. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for being with us today on our show. I really hope that there was something shared that really helps you shine your biggest and brightest light. Please stop by again, like us on Facebook, tweet us, all of those good things. And most importantly, please always remember, it's all about love.